Forum for Women, which is the Borneo Forum for Women. And it's actually in conjunction with the International Women's Day. And we're going to have the 4 key questions to all the women that come in and join our forum this afternoon of Malaysia time. And I think that this is the right time for us to discuss on the role of women, on how we look at Borneo, the development in Borneo. And we are not just talking about that, yes, we want to contribute, but now we are on the advanced mode on what kind of role that we can play to develop Borneo together. And by having this Borneo Forum, this is also an initiative to get together with all the women across Borneo so that we could know each other, and we have the network, and we know and how could we contribute to the development in Borneo as a whole. And I would like to first introduce you the Borneo Forum founders, and they are Ken from London, who is our group president of the Borneo organization. That's Ken. And we have Alan. We have Alan from New Zealand, who is also the group vice president and also the CEO for the Sustainable Borneo. And now we have Richard all the way from US, and also a group VP and hold the CEO for food industries, and me in Kuala Lumpur. And since what they call it, the rose among the thorns, is it? The rose among the thorns. So I propose to Borneo Forum that, hey, why not, in conjunction of Women's International Day, and this is the month of March, we would like to listen to women's voice across Borneo, where I feel that it's the right time, the calling is there, to create a platform for all the Borneo women to have platform to speak up, and how could they play a role in developing this Borneo. And also, like those speakers that have been invited to this forum today is actually those who are prominent in their own field, and which they came from diverse background. Some came from the leadership position, some came from the creative industry, creative arts, music, and also another one came from the trade organization, and which is could contribute a lot for Borneo. And I really hope that this forum, not only to empower more women out there, but also to give inspiration to more women out there, to give some sort of thought, like even though how small they're doing in their part, but when we do it collectively, which is actually we bring something to Borneo. And we would like one day that Borneo women to be given a mandate to also play an important role for this development in Borneo. And for those who are any interested party out there, we would like to welcome you to also come and network with us, connect with us, and how we could develop Borneo as a whole. So without further ado, I would like to start this forum by introducing our speaker today, and they are Datuk Dayang Haja Khatijah, Datuk Haji Batial from Sabah, who is also the founder of Sabah Women SME Association, and now as a founder and president of IKS Nika, which is a very active women association, especially helping those rural women for business. And I'm sure that she has a lot of experience, a lot of knowledge to share with you today. And our second speaker, which we invite all the way from Brunei, and she's Lily. Lily is in music industry, and she's also a composer, music educator, entrepreneur, and even producer. And she brought passion, energy, and excitement to all her projects. Okay, I will introduce her further during the slot. And let's welcome the third speaker, which is all the way from UK, Cheryl. Cheryl is from Sabah, but at the moment she is in UK. And she's the owner and the founder of Makan Bikes Limited, which is something very interesting for us to listen to her, and how that even though that we are so far away, but we still have the heart for Borneo. So that's also what we are going to feature in this Borneo Forum for Women this month. So without further ado, I would like to invite Datu Dayang to be the first speaker, and to actually perhaps to share her knowledge and also her experience in the four main questions, the key question. Adakah wanita penting dalam perniagaan dan pembangunan ekonomi di Borneo? The secondly is, adakah sumbangan dan peranan wanita dalam sektor ini seiring dengan lelaki? Mahukah Anda terlibat dalam peluang perniagaan dan pembangunan di Borneo? Dan yang keempat, mahukah Anda wujud satu platform untuk membuka peluang kepada wanita di Borneo? So, let's invite or warm welcome to Datu Dayang from Sabah.
Thank you, Eve. Thank you very much, Eve, for inviting me here in the Borneo platform. Yeah, it was quite like you just let me know yesterday, but never mind. Everything is an experience. It's never be wrong. I have experienced this. I don't have to do my researching of what we are going to talk today, because this is all in the mind. I have been doing this, my experience of helping other women in Sabah, though thanks to the government who have endorsed and acknowledged what I have done for the women, until they give me this panglima, gamilang, darja, kinabalu, panjang begitu kan. But so thank you for that endorsement and acknowledgement from our state government. So this is to say that the experience of me doing the women empowerment, especially in business, has been recognized. And we thank very much also that at least we are heard somewhere out there, because I am very loud. That's why they heard me. So I'm here like, if you think the economy, how the women, are they relevant to the economy? I think that is the first question, right? If yeah, so I have been doing small medium enterprises association for the last over, I think over 10 years, but actually I have been doing entrepreneurship for the last 30 years. So jangan ditanya umur berapa, memang sudah tua. I think the one in UK still can understand Malay kan, and also in Brunei, yeah. So I have lived that long to really experience all this. So if your questions whether women in economy is relevant in developing, not only Borneo, I think for the whole world, they need women. Because we believe that when you educate a woman, you are educating the nation. right or not? So because we women, once we are good at doing things, we will be able to transfer or inspire our children. This is what I am very concerned. Why? We need the women to be uplifted in economy, in social, or in anything that she's doing, to inspire not others first, the children first. Because we are looking in the next generation. I'm looking far forward. Why am I helping the women today? Is to prepare the legacy of tomorrow. Imagine if we do not prepare our children now to look at economy, to look how they should be placed in their social values. What is going to happen for the next 20 years for our children and our next generation? So that is why I am devoting myself all these years to help other women in Sabah, especially those from rural areas. They don't speak English like us. They don't so like global why, because they are not exposed to global whatever. Here in Sabah, we need more people like Eve. I think Lily from Brunei, we are welcoming you to Sabah. Daphne and people from London, come back. We can do a lot of things in Sabah together because you need a duplication of who we are. Like we need more of Eve, we need more of Daphne, we need more of those women who can empower women. So in economy in Sabah, as I look, I have been with this women association for the last over 10 years. I see that our women is very they are very, what do you call this, participating. They are very somewhat they are looking into the economy now, how they can participate. So I am not wrong when I say that, especially with my association, which consists, all of them are from all the women from all over Sabah. They ada cita-cita, especially when I talk to them, what the world out there looks like when you hit the international market. You will be like Datu Dayang, traveling here and there. My pool also big. I have big gold. Because we are like economy. Once the women is good in economy, I think apart from preparing our children, we will also much loved by our husband. Begitu. Beli rantai sendiri, beli cincin sendiri. This will make you have a very good marriage also. Kan? Betul kah? Kalau kau minta beli sana, minta beli sini, memang the husband also fed up with us. So this is the cabaran. We have to look at the challenges now women is facing. Once you are like good for nothing, Allah, I have another woman who can give me money. Nah, matilah kita. So I am also looking at this, the value of being good in economy is also to prepare for us women to be competitive. Yeah, if not so like in the level with the men, but at least we are respected in our own way. So little thing like when you're in the house, when you are good in economy, your husband pun pandai juga macam ling-ling, banyak kali ling bah. Sayang-sayangnya okay bah. Tapi kalau balik-balik kita ini minta beli sabun, sabun pun kena beli, tak bagus lah juga. We are also like, gentle women. We have to show also that we are part of the family who are helping our men, our pencinta wanita to really make life, I think, because life is demanding us to be as such that we have to be good also in economy. Right? So these all prepare us for a very good community at the end of the day. So I think not only in Sabah, I think the whole world need a very good women who are good in economy, one who can also develop themselves, the family, and the country as a whole. So I think we are not wrong when we say we want women's power, we want women empowerment, because not so many are having the spirit like you, like the four of us here. Some of them still having that pride. Oh ya, aku kalau pergi keke susah ini aku. Mau pakai kasut tinggi kah? Mau pakai baju macam mana? There are a lot of fears among these women. So me, I'm always talking. Don't be afraid to start, especially on economy. Because kalau kita ini berjual, you have money, you jalan pergi keke, itu husband pun tidak masalah. Tapi dari Ranau kau pergi keke, balik tiada juga kau bawa apa-apa, susah juga itu kan. So this is the thing, I think, when you become an entrepreneur and you are a woman, I think you punya, what do you call, Malaysia muhasabah. You go back to yourself, you think this is right for me, because the time that you are going to give up for the community and to the family, you know, when you go out to the community, your family should be well taken care of. I mean, you have to start everything in home first. Itu Pak. Jadi when you go out, you must know already. Orang bilang, put your mindset right. And what do you call this? We just have to be the best among the rest when your mindset is well set, kan? Tapi if our mind setting semua pun tidak boleh ini apa ini, we have a lot of cabaran actually. I think in conjunction with this year Women's Day celebration, our team is choose to challenge. Melayu bilang mendepani cabaran. This is it. We have not, the world have not known that women are always with challenges. Right or not? You agree with me or not? We are all the way facing challenges because we are a wife, we are a mother, and at the same time we also want to be competitive with the guys. If you are doing business, you have to do your best. We have to present ourselves at our level best. Then orang mau tengok. Kalau kau macam makcik-makcik biasa, those people will say, okay, makcik. Well, we don't want that makcik title. We want Madam, Madam Daphne, Madam Lily, Madam Eve. So I mean, we must have this cita-cita, orang bilang. We must be dreaming out of Sabah, out of Borneo. You see, you are all out there already in UK, in USA, in everywhere. So I am very happy that Borneo platform is able to find all these people with their radar. I think thanks to digitalization as well, whereas we can be talking like this, whether wherever we are. Actually, I'm in a hotel room. I'm not at home. So you are in everywhere, but we still can do this. So that's why this year, with our Choose to Challenge team of the International Women's Day, on my side, I am looking at what Sabah need to, not to confront the challenges, but we have to be prepared. The challenges which gonna bring the changes. So as women, we must see when we face, there will be changes. So make sure the changes that we are going to do is a positive change. So that is why I always advise the women to come try to if can me over the shoulder, something like that in an association. So that is why I believe that by putting up together women of the same mentality, we can be very, very good, and we can all hold hands and declare to the world that there's no superman, there's only super women. Correct ka? Begitu. Itu superman pakai celana dalam di luar. Memang stupid lah kan? So we can always declare, because when we are together, we are helping, we are holding hands, we know each other's what is your problem, then we come, okay, this is it, this is how to solve, this is how to live happily. But sometimes the women community doesn't live that way. Some women are still having some, not say mental block, let's say mental problem, but they have something in their heart that they have also here in Malaysia, I do not know, in Brunei or where else. We also have things like crab culture. Itu katam ba katam. If this woman go up, this katam tarik. This woman go up, another katam tarik. That should not happen. So I am, me and Eve have been doing a lot of things together. I think initiating a lot of things in Sabah. I think we initiate one about 10 years ago. We call ourselves winners, women in innovation. That time we want to innovate. We want to win. But sometimes we have to work together with the women of the same mental standard and setting. Kalau tidak, susah juga kita ini. So I talk to the women. Once you want to do something, focus, be positive. Jangan ada negatif. Jadi kadang-kadang ada di Malaysia ini, if you all ever heard, ada satu terminology. They call it membawang, pembawang. And this one should not be here already. So among us, the women, these are the things that we have to correct. The crap culture, the talking here and there. If you want to have a platform, the platform should be very, very conducive in goodwill, in good spirit. So everybody will be peaceful. My pearl can be big. You can also buy the same. Not if I have pearl, you already sakit hati. That should not happen, right? So among us women, we should also be correcting ourselves. That's also very important. Because if you want to be competitive, you want to have a platform, you want to develop yourself, you have to prepare ourselves first. That is very important, kan? So if sudah habis aku punya masa atau kita mau cakap lagi?
Okay. So thank you. Thank you, Dr. Dayang.
I think it answers the four question. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, it's very inspiring what you have shared based on your own experience. I still remember Dr. Dayang back in 2014 when we were sitting together and we had the discussion to do something for Sabah that time. Therefore, we founded the Sabah Women
Innovation.
Women in Innovation of Sabah. Yeah, and over the years, each of us, we went to our own direction, but we work somehow together, but in our different platform. So this is actually the I feel the model that we all women can also do, no matter whatever platform that you are doing, as long as you're going to the same direction and you are lifting each other from your own platform. I think that's also towards development that what we want. And now when we look at the bigger picture, the whole Borneo, we have Lily in Brunei, and we will have also our friend from Sarawak and our Kalimantan friends. It doesn't have to be same platform, but as long as we are moving towards the same direction, I think that also something, a model that we can do. Now, what I can pick up from Dr. Dayang just now, say that life is not to confront with challenges, but need to prepare for the challenge that we have now. And we are not really want to bersaing dengan lelaki, but at least we move towards together. Am I right, Dr. Dayang?
Yeah.
Okay. Right. So I open this session to the audience. If you have any question to Dr. Dayang, there will be about 10 minutes for you. You can raise up your hands and you can ask directly to Dr. Dayang. If you have anything pertaining women role to Dr. Dayang, yeah, please. Anyone? Right. So before any question coming in, I would like to invite the audience once again, if you may, to rename your name and to put your location so that we may know where you're from, where you come from. Like we have Ati from India, USA. We have Patricia from KL. We have Daphne from PJ. Lily Brunei, SSJ Pinampang, Farouk from Scotland, Esther, and Nur Latifa. We would really like to know where you're from. Welcome, Lipun Moy. Welcome again, Nyuk Pangi. Valerie, welcome again. Nice to meet you again in this forum. All right. Shan Lijian, welcome. Yes.
Apology, I cannot raise my hand, but I'd like to say something or ask question to Datuk Dayang.
Yeah.
Yes, please do.
Yeah, good morning, selamat pagi dari London, Ken di sini. I'll speak in English. Yeah, I'm so impressed with Datuk Dayang's sharing and presentation. I can't help but to notice the very clear distinction of her version of so-called feminism, if I may use that word, and the Western feminism. And it's clearly defined with a beautiful version of our culture. I can see these things, it's not to be against, but together. Can you elaborate a little bit on that? How different is that mindset of women in Sabah, in Borneo, with the so-called feminism in the West?
Yeah, thank you for that question, and thank you for angkat my kaki, if you understand. Okay, I think at the end of the day, with the present, with the recent unprecedented pandemic of the COVID-19, I think the whole world was put into a stop. Not only in Sabah, but I think in UK itself. And you know, this pandemic have done a lot. I do not know. If you are a human being, you are coming back to yourself, especially on being a woman, or being a mother, or being whoever you are, a man also doing what? Who are you? God sent you. In Islam, we say Allah sent you for what reason in this world? You already have a title as a man, and me as a woman. What are we here for? So I think with the recent pandemic and when everybody was like running, chasing, I don't know what they are chasing, but actually they should be going back to themselves and ask them, we are here in this world. COVID is coming. It's just a little virus that can kill us in a minute, but we are sent here in this world to serve as our title. Me as a woman, a mother, a wife, and somebody that have to wake up the community, my women community, to love the men much better, to love the men more. I think you're gonna like it when I say we women want to love more the men. We should love our men, because you know the recent pandemic, you are all being caught together in a room, in a house, with your spouses and your children. It has teach us a lot of lesson to be really going back, that family, the artists or anybody that on TV remain on TV. The prime minister remain in the office. They will just be talking to us through TV. We cannot meet them. This pandemic have really teach us a lot, that we should stay put together, hold hands, pray together with our family. Myself, my personal experience, the pandemic have doubled my what do you call this? Orang bilang muhasabah, the awareness of who I am. God sent me for a reason, to be a woman who can contribute, not to the world. Don't say about the world, to my family. So you know what happened during the pandemic? I keep on cooking until I become fat, because that is a woman should do. No matter how far you go, whatever you do, it's important for you to love your man. do not forget to prepare a coffee or even though you are a CEO. I always share this. For a woman, we must come back to ourselves. We are made in such a way. We are the princess. We are the queen of the house. How the princess should be? Soft. Don't talk so loud to your husband lah. Nanti tonight we cannot get. First thing first in the morning, make him coffee. Important for the women. I am here and there around the world. I'm going Dubai, I'm going UK, I am going everywhere. When there is a calling like, oh, okay, Dato, you're invited here, I will just go. But if I'm in the house, I'll make sure I am the woman of the house. I cook, I prepare coffee, I do everything. I think I should be, if you think the Westerners have not learned from the pandemic, ask them to invite me. I tell them how to take the virus back and put in their house, and then everybody was put together in the house. Baru dia tahu. So I think the mentality, I think the pandemic have changed mindsetting of some of the people, especially those with family. When we were caught with the MCO, we cannot go out. We are stuck with our family. You like it or you don't like it. We have to make the whole family happy, right? Right? Yeah. Takkanlah di dalam rumah tu, you don't even smile at your wife. I think many people are giving birth at this time due to pandemic because love was in the air during the pandemic. This is the spirit. More population of, kalau macam di Brunei, I think you need more population kan. You need more people. I think this, you know what, why people give birth? Because they love so much. They are, you know, these things are being generated due to love. So I think love is in the air during COVID. So I think for the Western mindset, I do not really stay in UK or in anywhere around the world. I just visit them. I don't know how is their mindset about family, but I think I was a bit like in Australia, in New Zealand. I see dorang punya familyism, if you say just now, is very thick also. They are going back 6 o'clock petang already at home, but it doesn't happen in Kuala Lumpur. Everybody's still having yamcha or bottoms up until morning the night. When it's night, they want to make it a morning, still outside in the bar, but not happening in some countries. So we do not differentiate that we are Eastern people is good, but to me, it's important that whenever you have a family, the awareness of being a family man is very important. And this also is important for us women to know our positioning in the family. Macam I cakap tadi, our experience of the COVID-19 is good enough to make us position. We go back to the kitchen and cook a lot of food and become fat like me. Oh my God, I'm fat already. So I think that answered the question. I do not know Western mindset, but I think the recent pandemic, everybody is knowing the humanity value of everyone, that we are sent to earth for a reason, and we have to be good boys and good girls. Okay? Thank you for the question.
Thank you, Dr. Dayang.
Answers.
Thank you, Dr. Dayang. And even though that she holds a leadership position, but in her content of speaking content, she would rather to have it from the nucleus view, which is from the family point of view, which is very, very true for me, because we are from the East mindset, and family is so much deemed important to all of us. Thank you again, Dr. Dayang, and we would really like to have you again. Yeah, and we will invite you again at the end of this session, where now I think we need to move forward to the second speaker. And Again, thank you so much. Yeah. Now let's move on. That's the point of view from Sabah. How about if you move our um, our attention now to Brunei? And here we would like to introduce you, Lily Chiam, someone who has so much passion in music. And I think that Lily is also good to mention here how we met from the very first time. We were actually met somewhere in Philippines when we represented Borneo. She represented Brunei and I was representing Malaysia at that time, from Sabah to Manila Fame. And we met inside a van. Am I right, Lily?
Yeah, I think in the hotel.
Was it in a van where, oh, was it in the hotel? Yeah, where all the speakers were grouped together.
Yeah.
And Lily, that time, yes, representing Brunei to also discuss on her experience, her knowledge in bringing up their creative industries in this region. So since that time, 2017, right? Was
Yeah.
it 2017?
Few years.
We've been keep in touch over the time. Never met since then, but now we are meeting back.
Correct.
And I do feel that Lily is the right person to be featured here in Borneo Forum, especially to perhaps share her views on the 4 key questions pertaining women in Borneo. So without further ado, let's welcome Lily from Brunei.
Thank you.
Lily.
Thank you, Liv. Thank you for the wonderful privilege. Thank you for the wonderful privilege that I'm able to share with every one of you regarding this woman, what woman can do. Now, ever since I was young, I love music so much, and I always have this mindset that I'm going to be a musician. Though from a Chinese family, my parents were very against like being a musician, saying that being a musician you cannot really make your living out of it. But I had a mindset. I have a very strong mindset that I will be a musician because I am a pianist and I love playing the piano. And from there, I developed myself and went to Canada to build my studies. And I noticed one thing in the community. Being in Brunei here, a lot of children love to play instruments, but many a times children go through the hardship of learning the grades, like from grade 1 to grade 8, all the way to diploma. And so because of that, I thought that when I was in Canada, I will do thorough research in helping children to learn music and be able to find music as part of their lifestyle. And one thing that I always believe is that if you have a passion on something that you like, you can actually work towards it and build a solution to help the community. And by doing so, I'm very glad to tell everyone that I have written this course for young toddlers, and it is being franchised in China right now. And at that time when I was building it, I already envisioned that I wanted more children who may not have necessarily the ability to pay for good music fees and stuff like that to learn music, but they have good foundation so that they can play any instrument they like. So whether it can be piano or violin or anything. So in the aspect of whatever your passion is, and being in Borneo, I feel that there are a lot of women that are very skilled in their craft, even from baking, from doing craft work, and doing different kind of design for the Asian. And I felt that sometimes because being in Asia and in Brunei, there is no such like how in US or in Canada or in London where you have fashion designer and all those stuff that where they can build it to the massive. But in Brunei, I felt that there are many talents in here as well. And whatever you are as a woman, you feel that you can contribute to society. I feel that it is important we put in our platform and we have to make ourselves known. So with that in mind, I managed to meet very good partners in China, and we have already set up, and it was my last 4 years of extra work and traveling to China. We have built up to around another 50 plus um, schools for doing the toddlers program that I have come up with. And so with that being in my music industry, I write songs and I write different things to inspire people. And you can actually check from my website, www.lilycharm.com, and so you can see some of the things that I try to do and try to inspire and try to make myself relevant in the community, because many times a lot of women, we are soft spoken and we like to be in the background, and we will let the men go forward to do what they need to do. But as I'm speaking here right now, I always feel that woman has the capacity and has the ability, can be as equal as the man or can be more than some men. You see, not all men, but some men. And so I think women's voice should be heard, and women should continuously, um, make themselves known with whatever they are gifted in. And by that, they should establish themselves and come out to different platforms and let everyone in the world benefit from their craft, from their talents, from their skills. And so I myself have a family with 3 children, and my three, two girls and one boy, they also have their own music written, and it's also in the Charms YouTube. You can always watch them online as well. I myself also have a YouTube link and in Spotify, as well as in Tune, um, in different platforms to share my music to people, and also through my website as well. And I do get a lot of university professors. I meet them every year because I represent Brunei for the CDOM, which is the Southeast Asia Directors of Music. And I do have professors who talk to me and say, it's a challenge when I myself am a musician and I'm trying to teach music to my own child. And so as a woman, as a mother, you understand that when you have a good skill, whether you are business or when you are in certain skill, there will be a time when you find it like, will my child or will my children take after me? Will they follow in the business that I'm going in? Or will they go into the trading that I am in? And so a lot of parents, they always feel that, hey, it's very tough to teach your own children, and they can rebel what you are saying and what you are thinking. And so a lot of mothers would have agreed with me and say that it's not easy for me to really uh, like teach my own child to understand this product or to understand this skill, because they also have the right to choose what they really love. But one of the things that I must say as a mother, I do devote my time beside being a business woman, or being just teaching them how to study well in school. I i myself, I spend time to nurture them in the music area, which I hope they will really find it a joy. And so by doing so, by putting those time into their life, and I felt that now when I see my 3 children loving music and being musicians, The first one, she plays the piano, and second one is a singer, and the third one is a composer. And so three of them, and the singer, the second one, also acts. You know, she likes to be an actress. And so like I just find it so fun, and I was so happy as a mother because my children are going into the field that I went in. And I felt that in this field we bring joy to a lot of people in the community. We help many other families, and we create platforms for them to perform and to build their skills. And so by doing so, I have my three working together with me and my team of all the teachers that work in the schools I have. And we really enjoy helping and building the community in that sense. So as a woman, I felt that I always talk to my husband. I say, I want to say that Brunei should thank you for bringing me back from Canada, because I'm supposed to be in Canada and you have asked me to come back to Brunei to make an impact. And so wherever each woman are, I felt that you can play an important part in your community, in the field that you are called for. Just like Dr. Dayang just now was sharing how important, how we treat our husband, how we treat our family. And as husband, she was saying that you have to love your husband, you have to make the coffee. I love my husband. I don't make coffee for him. I told him you have to make it yourself. Why? Because I'm so busy as well, like you. But you see, that's a different mentality. But I always tell him I respect him. And as a wife, I feel that respect is very important. And I tell my husband, I say, I always respect you. Not only I love you, I respect you in whatever you do, whatever decision you make. And I'm here to support you. At the same time, I also feel the great support from my husband. And so from every woman point of view, I think it is very important that even if you will grow and you become successful in your business or in everything, you must always talk with respect to your husband, so that by doing so, two of you are united, and your children will look at it and will follow your path and will be able to be respectful in the community as well. So sometimes we don't just talk gentle, but sometimes we may speak with louder voice, but they know we love each other, we meant the best for each other, we respect each other. And so children also understand and follow that. And with this, I find that every woman has a voice, and you need to stand up, and you are a good example to your children and a good example to all the people who you are with. And so you can also influence them directly with the way you behave, the way you make decisions, the way you speak. Because I always feel that it is important to grow yourself and build yourself up, that every time when you look at challenges, you don't get defeated. You don't feel like, oh, why this happened to me? Why this? No, we shouldn't be like that. We must always find like challenges are every day. You have to be an overcomer. And at the same time, you need to build your level so high up. You have to see which solution I'm going to choose. Solution 1 or solution 2 or solution 3. So you think of solution. You don't need to keep asking why this thing happened, why this person behave like that, why this person. But you have to grow yourself and continuously don't look at K-drama too much. You know, I always tell everyone, because that really wastes a lot of time. You know, I always say you build yourself as a woman, you contribute to society, and you think how by looking, by seeing a problem, you find solution 1, 2, and 3. And then you have a committee, you choose and talk to your family, and then you make a decision. Are you going to choose solution 1, solution 2, or solution 3? That means you are ready all the time, because they are just, that is what life is about. There are so many things happening and decisions has to be made. Choices have to be wisely chosen to decide how to find that solution to mend something. So that is from my point of view. And I also feel that as women, we can be seen as the vulnerable or the emotional person. But I believe that if you don't look at yourself as a victim, you don't look at yourself like, why this person treat me like that, or why the person, but you look at yourself as a victor. And so when every time you see situation, you are the thermostat. You will change the room temperature. You are not the one that will come into the room and then you see the atmosphere is like that and you are affected by it, because you are like the thermometer. When you are the thermometer, you are affected by the environment all the time. And what is going on, this thing, that thing, you know, and you said you feel helpless about it, you can't do anything. But at the very end, you be the thermostat. You figure out what are the solutions, what are the things to help, to do, to change, to make the environment a different place, a better environment. So from my point of view, the woman is always the decision maker, and the woman has the choice to affect the family. In fact, usually the children grew up loving the mother, and they are very close to their mother. And of course, some, they will also be very close to their dad. In fact, the children are closest to the parent who spend the most time with them. And so you will find that if you as a career person, as a mother or as a dad, you will find that the child actually connects better to the one who spent the most time. And they will not mind what distinction or what A, B, C, what A grades they get, but they will remember every trip you make with them when you go out, and they were happy with you and they were together. And that is the time you really influence your child with whatever state that you hope that your child can achieve. And as a mother, I felt that there are so much things you can do to influence the family and also the neighbors and then the community and the people, all who are closest to you, even from your cousins to your friends to everyone. So with that, unless you have more questions for me, I feel that as a woman, your role is very important role. And I do not ever see that as a woman, you are any inferior than any man, because you are as equally important to do many things on earth. And whatever you touch, whatever you say, it influences the people around you. So with the Borneo business and development opportunities, I feel that there are so many talents, so many skills that each person has. And even from like when every time I go to Singapore, my favorite shop is the Begawan Solo. I would usually buy so many, you know, the pastry, and then just to bring it home for my family and my, you know, those colleagues to eat. So I think I always admire, I said, the whoever built that Begawan Solo, you know, or some pastry or some cakes or something or some craft work things, I would buy them, I would get it. And so many untapped talents out there. And I think women should have this platform to display what they can actually produce and do. And more people will know that from Borneo here, you have powerful women growing and living in Borneo Island. So I would say that we, no matter where we are, even in Borneo, in Canada, in every other states or countries, we are not limited because of the digital platform. And so we can make our voices known. And for musicians, we can do it in YouTube. Even in YouTube, you can teach people how to cook, how to make a dress, how to do flowers arrangement, how to do this, how to, clean your house, how to do this, what kind of vacuum cleaner is better. And some people, they even talk about, because those are bags lovers, they will even teach you what bags to buy and things like that. So women, you can do anything. You put your hands up when you like something, go for it and put in the video. And people will get to know you. Okay? I guess that's all I want to share. And if you have any questions, I'm very happy to answer them. Thank you, Eve.
Right. Thank you, Lily. That's much insightful ideas and based on experience, years of experience of Lily. Yeah, what I like about one of the contents that Lily just mentioned just now was when Dr. Dayan was talking about family role. Lily went even deeper when talk about legacy. Whatever we women doing, and how are we going to pass that legacy, that passion to our children, which is a kind of challenging, because to teach our own children is not easy. We need a third party and of course the support systems. So which is, I can see the scene here from our first speaker, Dr. Dayang, and to you, Lily. So well done on that. Right. And also something that what I like about Lily just mentioned about, like, yes, there's a lot of talents in Borneo. And what we need to do as women, we need just to tap on any opportunities, regardless of like whether it's offline or online. And now even better, when we have a lot of platform online, our talent can just be on air, either it's live, recorded, or whatever means that we want. Because it's good that now we need to start promoting our talents, and which is, I feel that Borneo still have a lot of untapped talents. So yeah, so I think we as women, we do have role to play. And I guess Borneo Forum for Women will start to feature more talents in the future. Yeah, and you are all among the pioneer in this online for Borneo women, which yeah, one of the initiatives of featuring talents in Borneo. Right. So any question from the audience? Maybe anyone who just, you can just raise up your hand and you can ask Lily. Anything?
Hello.
Shadrina, welcome.
Yes, I'm very interested to knowing more about how Lily. How do I say? I would just like to express my admiration that despite her parents, I would say disapproval maybe to pursue in the musical art, she went for it, and look at her now. She did a very well job on herself, for herself, and she even contributed to the community. So now the issue that I would like to address here is this untapped talent among women, or I would say the ladies, the younger generation, to which they have passion about something, but because of their parents or family and even the society's disapproval about this talent, they left their talent unkept, and just leave those talents to die. So it's very prevalent here, especially in Asian countries. Okay, they keep it to the Borneo, where the parents want the children to have, I would say, a respectable career, just going for officers or becoming, government servants, and they don't really agree on pursuing talent and passion, because most of the time talent and passion do not sell well. So I would like to know how Lily would advise us women to how do we empower ourselves to how do I say tap our talent and our passion, even though the society and sometimes even our own families are against us in this kind of work.
If you are able to say what Cedrina was sharing, can you type up the questions to me, because the wordings are quite blurry from my side. I couldn't really hear what she is saying. Yeah,
Um,
like her questions. If can rephrase it for me so that I can hear it clearly.
oh, okay, I see. How do I say? Uh, what is your advice for young women who are afraid to pursue their passion in fear of what society and sometimes even their families will disapprove of it?
If could you repeat what she was sharing? What question she was asking, or
Um,
someone can say?
Yeah, I think that what would be your advice on a woman that pursuing her passion, but lack of support, especially among families? Am I right, Chidrina? Yeah.
Yes, that's quite
Okay.
correct.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So what would be your advice?
What I went through was that I funded myself. I find ways to. I did some other works, and what I did through myself is that I really work and try to gather whatever amount that I can save to pursue my career. But what I know is that for there are certain passionate, talented young individuals, they would meet and talk to different people, and there are certain organizations in your country, they actually support talents, but because of the talent, they only sometimes they only choose certain people. You need to go for audition, you need to go for interview. But I believe in one thing: if you really like something, you can do some other work to find the finance to build yourself to get there. And so there may be a delay of years, but your target must be so clear that you will still find the finance to get there. Yeah, you have to do multiple jobs if you have, but you target it like within 3 years or 5 years, I got to accomplish that. And most of the time when people go into the first year, they actually also do part-time or work part-time, and then they can continue the second year or the third year, whatever diploma or university they are going for. So it depends how much you want to go for it. So I don't believe in people saying, because my dad cannot afford or my mom cannot afford. But I have seen so many people work their way to get up there. Yeah, it's how much you want to work to get there. Yeah, I hope I answer you. Yeah.
Yeah. Is that right, Shadrina?
Yes, thank you. That
Find
is
a
very
way.
helpful.
Right. All right. Thank you, Shadrina. And is there anyone would like to ask Lily before we move on to the next speaker? Yeah, I think we are good. We are good. All right. Now let's move on to our third speaker, and she's Cheryl. Cheryl came from Sabah, but now lives in UK, and she was from the financial services when she was in KL, and she was a banker. And when she moved to UK, she is doing her own business. She does trading, and when she came to our Borneo Forum the second, and she managed to she was able to talk about what she she's doing currently doing for in UK and also for Borneo. And therefore, I feel that this is also one of the study case that Borneo Forum would like to feature study cases like this. And yeah, because this is the month for women, and she is now privileged to be one of our speaker to share her knowledge, to share her experience, how Borneo abroad still can do something to Sabah or to Borneo as a whole in bringing in development, and not only to her side in UK, but also to the people in Borneo. So therefore, we bring you Cheryl all the way from UK. Please, Cheryl, you're welcome very much. And yeah, the stage is yours.
Okay, thank you, Eve. Hello, everyone. Selamat pagi semua. I'm now in UK. Dia punya masa pun 7:45. So my presentation will be a mixture of English and Malay, just to give the audience a bit of dual language. But at the same time, I've done a little bit of homework last night to do some PowerPoint presentations, if you don't mind. Let me share my screen first.
All right. Yeah. Ken, do you mind to help out the screen for Cheryl?
Yeah. Hold on. I'll make your co-host, Cheryl.
Thanks, Ken.
Okay, you are co-host now, so you can share.
Thank you. Just one moment, yeah. Just bear with me for a bit.
No worries.
Okay.
I can't seem to find my file. Okay, so a little introduction about my my company. I've just started in 6 months of my company, so it's basically doing international trade. Okay, so by the way, before that, my name is Cheryl, asal dari Keningau, orang Murut dari Borneo. Very proud to mention this to everyone here. So I've been in the UK for about less than 6 months, and during the pandemic, we were supposed to move to UK somewhere around March or April, but unfortunately, with the pandemic, the very strict lockdown in Malaysia has put a halt to our move to the UK. So in between the time when I was thinking about the move to the UK, I was thinking, would I be going back to employment, or would I like to generate income by opening up a business? So I was between two crossroads. Sama ada saya mau, work full time, or open up a business. And during the time from April to August last year, I thought, why don't I try opening up a business? But what business? So it drove me back to, what can I represent as a Borneo woman and bring this Borneo platform to the UK. So it wasn't on a national level, it was more on an international level. So a little introduction about my company at the moment. I opened Makan Bites Limited, which was somewhere in November last year. And what I do is international trade, import and export. I don't have a big volume, but to create the awareness about what I am bringing from Borneo itself, gives a little bit of awareness of what my company is and what I'm trying to represent to the international platform. Is everything okay? Can I proceed?
Yeah, sure. Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Please.
Some of the items that I represent at the moment is Mazna Premium. So for everyone, for the benefit of everyone here, if you just Google Mazna Premium, you will immediately prompt some of these images here. So at the moment, this is the product I'm representing in the UK, a lot of authentic Malaysian paste. And
sorry, Cheryl. We can't really see your slide. It's still in your file. Do you mind to click on that first?
Sorry.
You click on your file.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let me see. One moment. You cannot see, is it? Oh,
Yeah.
sorry. Sorry about that. Let me check. I'll come back to you.
Sure.
While we wait for Cheryl, okay, good. Yep.
Okay,
Yeah.
all right. Now can, yeah. All right, Cheryl.
Yeah, sorry about that.
It's all right. Yeah.
So some of the products that I'm presenting is the Mazna Premium. I'm sure you have your handphones with you. So if you just Google Mazna Premium, it will come up with a lot of authentic Malaysian taste. So this is what I'm representing at the moment. Some of the other products that I am also representing. Can everybody see?
Yeah.
So the other brand that I'm also representing is called S2, where I am importing 100% Gula Melaka. It is one of the products that my company has researched on. So during the months that I was thinking about what I was going to do at that time of last year, I did a lot of research and a lot of soul searching about what can I bring to the United Kingdom and put my presence there. We also have Mazna and also 100% pure Gula Melaka, because I found out from the research that I have done, Gula Melaka is normally from Thailand. It's normally from Thailand, and if it comes from Malaysia, it is 80% pure. It is not 100% pure. So this is what a lot of the locals here in UK, when I say locals, I consider a lot of the Asians here who have already been living in the UK. A lot of them are unable to get these kind of products, these authentic products to the UK. And the beauty about this is that we were able to find a company to manufacture Gula Melaka, and its origin is from Sarawak, Borneo. So if you look at the product description here, this is just a brief idea. The sole ingredient for this item, for Gula Melaka, is the coconut itself, and the manufacturer and the origin, as you can see. When we present this documentation to customs and all that, it is actually from Sarawak, Borneo. So these are some of the ideas that when I represent Makan Rights Limited, I always say that these products are coming from Malaysia, these products are coming from Borneo. Yeah. On top of that, we are also bringing in dehydrated Asian herbs, also by the same company as too. The benefits of dehydration. Many of the locals here, we as Malaysians or we as we do take for granted items that are very easy and accessible in Malaysia, such as pandan leaves, such as bunga kantan, or such as blue butterfly pea. So I came up with the idea that instead of bringing these items fresh, where the shelf life is very short, you know that pandans don't last very long, maybe a week maximum. So a lot of the locals here in the UK, when they get the items, they freeze it. But with technology and with a lot of discussions with suppliers in Malaysia or in Borneo, we we were able to look into the dehydration process, because the dehydration process is seasonal all through the year, because sometimes bunga kantan, for instance, for example, bunga kantan is only available during seasonal months. Let's say from the month of May to the month of August. So that's the time frame is only during those months. And if it's off season, the prices will go up. So the idea that I spoke to the supplier, who is also from Borneo, this particular supplier, um, why not we dehydrate these Asian herbs, because the shelf life will be a lot longer. It will be about a year, and you don't have to freeze it. And the ratio for dehydration ingredients is 10:1, which means that, for example, if you have 100 kg of pandan leaves, once you dehydrate it, it becomes 10 kg. So if you look at your kitchen cupboard or your kitchen pantry, let's say you have, for instance, another example is turmeric. So the turmeric is a plant base, which is a root plant. But once you dehydrate it, it comes into a powder form. So the same concept applies to pandan powder, dehydrated bunga kantan, and also blue butterfly pea. So this is what I'm representing at the moment. And on top of the dehydration process, it helps to maintain all the nutrients. It doesn't take away any of the nutrients. It is still 100% plant-based. And on top of that, it is portable. So I have a few suppliers from Borneo that are helping me create this and then bringing it to the UK. Yeah, and the other company that I am representing here in the UK is My Blue Tea, which is already ongoing. We are selling it to retail customers. They manufacture this in Sarawak. I think it's Daku in Sarawak. So they specialize in dehydrated ginger torch, butterfly pea, and pandan leaf powder, and it is fast moving. It is very fast moving. What My Blue Tea is, it is actually an Australian-based company, but it is owned by Malaysians. So the partners are all Malaysians. The manufacturing company is in Sarawak. And what they do is they help a lot of Borneo women. They create a lot of jobs to do this. They have created a lot of jobs. So they go through corporate social responsibility, and they go through different channels to get all of these women from the rural area to create this. Some the dehydrated torch ginger, some are being made by machine, but some is also by hand. Yeah, so these are the women from Borneo creating this, and because of technology, it has helped us a lot to create the packaging and also represent this. This will not sell in Borneo, I can tell you, but it will sell in the international platform. It will sell. Okay. So another item here is noodles that we Asians always crave for. You can eat it during breakfast, lunch, dinner, supper, yeah, anything goes for this one. And some of the I am also the sole distributor in the United Kingdom for these particular products. Masna, Kihyong, S2. S2 is from Borneo with the dehydration herbs. So these are some of the brands that I am representing in the UK. Okay, so some may be wondering about the UK market and the opportunity. There's a big market of Asians. A lot of the Asians here are living in London, and the population is about 1 million. And as you can see, I've done a lot of research on the ethnic or nationalities in the UK. A lot of Filipinos, Malaysians, about 62 Malaysians, 40,000 Singaporeans, and there will be a big community of Hong Kongs coming in as well. The other part of our international trade is the free trade agreement, which is also including Malaysia and UK. But we have not come to an agreement yet. I'm still waiting for what is the outcome of this. They are looking at maybe spring or even summertime. So this will help small companies like mine, where they will eliminate a lot of the import tax or low tariff, or even reduce some of the tax of import and export. So coming back to the next slide, which is some of the tips and experience. I'm still looking for a lot of opportunity. I've been talking to a lot of Borneo companies. Last week, I was having a meeting with AgriData, which was also introduced by Borneo Forum. So Borneo Forum was actually the middleman who introduced AgriData. I had a meeting with them last week. I told them and gave them the ideas, because they were working with a lot of farmers. They work with a lot of farmers, and they do a lot of analysis. So a little bit of modern agriculture with a modern twist to it. And I'm not sure about the outcome of it, because they haven't gotten back to me, but I have come back to them with a proposal a proposal via email. And I'm always looking for opportunity. So if there is any suppliers or manufacturing companies from Borneo, because I've said this before and I'll say this again, the word Borneo itself gives a long mileage. So if you're looking at going international, you don't use Sabah, you don't use Sarawak, you don't use Kalimantan, you don't use Borneo, you don't use Brunei, sorry. You use the word Borneo, because you are touch base with Asians, you are touching base with the locals here in the UK as well. So I'm very happy, very proud to represent my Borneo heritage and where I come from. Every time I tell them I am from Sabah, I am Murut, and everybody's like, what? And I give them a little bit of background about what my culture is all about. Some tips and experience coming back to this international trade. I have met a lot of suppliers that have potential in their product, but they don't fully meet the UK food requirements, or they're not fully certified for export purposes. That is one of my challenges. Sometimes they say, oh, I want to do egg noodles. The idea of egg noodles is great, but they need to do a lot more research. And for UK food requirements, egg or dairy product is not allowed in the UK from Malaysia, unfortunately. So it comes back to the drawing board, and then they have to think about what other things that they can produce or come up with. So that is my challenge as a small startup, because a lot of them have a lot of ideas, but when I come back to them, they said this will not. Then I have to find another supplier and another supplier and another supplier. So this is why the process for international trade is longer than normal. So with COVID, with the pandemic, with Brexit, the congestion at the ports, it does not help things to move faster. It's very, very slow. But I'm very grateful that I'm able to represent some items, some products that come from Borneo itself, such as the dehydrated ginger torch. And in fact, my company has done also research that the soil in Kalimantan itself is very good for premium ginger torch flower. It will come out very pink, very bright pink. But the soil sometimes in West Malaysia may not be so suitable. It will become light pink. So for bright pink, that would be a very good option. So I'm still looking for Indonesian farmers for this ginger torch because it is a very good demand. Why I say this is because a lot of the importers here, I don't want to say old school, but they're old school that they bring these in chillers, so it's fresh. But once it thaws, once it melts, it goes soggy. And the main ingredient for asam laksa or even kari laksa is the ginger torch itself. So I'm going in very deep information here. So when that happens, it takes away all of the flavors when it goes all soggy, the ginger torch. So when I think very deep, how can we create something that we can even tanam di belakang kebun, di belakang rumah, but create something else, the same item but in a different form. So coming back, I have been offered so many times from a lot of importers, we can supply fresh, but I said no, you have to put it in a different form. One, shelf life has to be longer because it's the journey from Malaysia or Borneo is longer compared to and another thing that comes in mind is that there are no shortcuts in international trade. So I know that a lot of potential suppliers said, boleh banikan. No, it is very yes and no. UK and Japan are the two countries that are very difficult, or no, I wouldn't say difficult. It is very challenging to bring the items in. It is a yes or no. If you do not fill the requirements, then it's a no. There is no maybe, no. So this is the part where I have to think how to make it more enjoyable because it is very challenging in international trade. But I'm also getting there. Another thing that I always like to tell the suppliers is make it authentic. Like I said earlier on, Mazna is a very Malay authentic paste. But the beauty about Mazna, it is made of dry paste. It is powder. So if you go to the supermarkets, you will see a lot of the wet paste. But the beauty about Mazna, it is dry, and the shelf life is longer. And number two is it is vegan. It is suitable for vegetarians. So the market is a lot bigger because it can be consumed by who are not vegan and also vegan. So the market is a lot bigger. And on top of that, it is gluten-free. So a lot of I don't know, I don't want to say orang putih lah, but a lot of the locals here, they are allergic to a lot of things. So there are things that if you take the opportunity to really do research, the product can really go into the market if you really do proper research. So Mazna is also authentic, but with a modern twist. The dehydration ingredients or the Asian herbs, they are authentic because you have to put the ingredients into your asam laksa. You have to put your ingredients into your baking, but with the dehydration process. And the third tips, and based on experience, is I do not limit yourself with one supplier. So that's why I am always continuing to have meetings with suppliers, potential exporters. Now with COVID, now with Brexit, most of the items that I import for Mazna paste, this one is ongoing, is from Netherlands. Although it is Malaysian, but the warehouse is located in Netherlands. For half a pallet will take about 2 months because of Brexit. And so where I'm located in East Midlands. The journey from here to Netherlands is only 1 hour flight. It's like KL Penang. So which means Sabah to KL is a lot longer. It's only a 1 hour flight because Sabah to KL is about 2.5. Yeah, because of this, the items come 2 months later. So this is another hiccup because of Brexit. But congestion as well. Congestion, as you know, that there is a big container in the canal which is stuck because it was blown by the wind. This was recent news yesterday. It has cost 9.6 billion. So when a ship is stuck, it will delay the other ships and it will create congestion. But because of Brexit as well, a lot of the companies are not able to meet the proper documentation, also will create delay, also will create congestion at the ports and custom clearance and all that. So although it is challenging, it is now a good time to plan things. Because of the congestion, which I'd like to highlight, it has created 80% increase in logistic shipping. It has increased by 80%, making prices for wholesalers, for distributors in the UK, it has forced them to increase their prices for 2 to 3 times. So on average, the prices for Asian products itself in general are at a premium. So for instance, now, if you buy gula melaka now in the UK, it would be 2 to 3 pounds. But with the logistics, it has increased to 5 pounds. But nevertheless, now is a good time to plan because we are looking at summertime to start exporting consistently, or even after summer. Worst case scenario would be end of this year. So that is my presentation for today. I hope. So if anybody would like to connect with me, I'm on LinkedIn, so you can look for me on LinkedIn. This is my link, and you can also look for me, or you can scan the QR code in the event that you want to connect. Thank you, Eve. I think that's all for my presentation today.
Thank you, Cheryl. So yeah, as what you can hear just now, this is the real study case. One of it, that how Borneo abroad still can play their role in doing the development to our own people, to our products in Borneo by doing the international trade. So this hopefully to inspire more women, especially who is in business at the moment, to perhaps if they are interested in international trade, so this could inspire them. So yeah, so the real study case that we have presented here in Borneo Forum for Women. Now let's open the floor to the audience who wants to ask anything pertaining to what Cheryl has mentioned just now. So anyone, and I think Ati, Atif from US, if I'm not mistaken, you are doing similar thing? Anyone who also women in trade? Let's utilize this platform for you to be featured here. Okay, so while we are waiting some response from the audience, I think from the first speaker to the second speaker, now came to the third speaker, we can see the sequence of idea flowing where we would like to feature the real scenario. We would like to feature the real women of substance in Borneo. Either they are in Borneo or they are abroad. They are doing something, and this is the platform where we feature them, where we would like to bring them together collectively to say that we are actively playing our role in development in Borneo. So any takers for this slot? If not, we can move on. Yeah. All right.
If
yes.
this is Richard.
Yes, Richard.
Yeah, for Cheryl, I'm so inspired. It's like in the old days where they have the spice trade, and she's bringing the spice from Borneo, which is the Borneo's product, to the global market. And this is just incredible. When she dehydrate the herbs into spices, this is something that I normally see it in the kitchen, but now she's actually empowering the farmers back home and bringing it into the global market. And I think that's incredible. I'm very happy to see what she's doing to Borneo and to help out with our local farmers in Borneo.
All right. Yeah. Thank you, Richard, for that comment. Yeah. So we could see from the first presentation just now. Oh, Alfred. Yeah. Alfred, would you like to mention something?
Yes, yes. So this is just a quick question to Cheryl, really. Cheryl.
Alfred, if you don't mind to introduce yourself first and where you're from.
Yeah, my name is Alfred Edward. I am currently in the UK, and yeah, kind of sort of like love food and all the spices that's coming from Borneo. Definitely is something that we look up over here. So one question for you, Cheryl, really is that fantastic news, fantastic ideas. One of the things that I may probably have came in sort of like pretty late, but she mentioned about sort of like it's difficult to get our product direct from Borneo to the UK because of the high standard or rather requirement here in the UK. However, she mentioned that for Maznas, the route that came into the UK is via Netherlands. So the questions that I wanted to ask is that if we have sort of like something like a route from Borneo to Netherlands, I mean a route from Borneo to the UK via the Netherlands, would that compromise the standard that's already here in the UK? Would that make it sort of like a change the standard a little bit, or does that still need sort of like a higher requirement as per direct a trade direct from Borneo to the UK?
Hi, Alfred. Very good question there. Perhaps I didn't highlight it properly. Mazna, who is the owner of Mazna Paste, is based in Budapest, Hungary, and she has a warehouse in Netherlands, which is why I import from the UK. She takes care more of the European part, but in terms of UK, she has not, before meeting me, she was not able to meet someone that has the passion or has the work ethics that she liked, or someone that she would like to have as a distributor in the UK. So which is why it was available items there, and I was available at the same time. So it was I was at a good place at a good time. Yeah, but normally for items coming from Malaysia, it will go to Port Klang and then maybe stop over to maybe Singapore or go direct to UK. Why I say I take her items from Netherlands is because her warehouse is in Netherlands. But normally if items come from Borneo itself, such as our gula melaka, the one from Sarawak, it will have to go to Port Klang, then Port Klang go to UK.
All right. So yeah, thank you, Cheryl. So Cheryl, do you want a platform to exist that will help to open opportunities for Borneo women?
Yes, yes, Eve, definitely. We need women power. Because I am amazed at how
all right, thank you so much.
When it comes to that, because our Asian ingredients itself is very colorful. We are exotic but very colorful at the same time, because we put our ginger torch, which is pink in color, and also pea is blue, and then you have your pandan, which is green. It is wonderful.
All right. So thank you, Cheryl. Yeah. So to all the audience out there, when you were with us since the beginning, what we're trying to deliver here is how the sequence of idea from the 3 different panels from diverse background. We started from the leadership position up to the creative role, and also now is a women in trade role. So, and all of the discussion today were talking about the need of a platform to exist, especially to help the women in Borneo. So therefore, that's why Borneo Forum is all about. And because of this, and from the time that we have here, I would like to invite our group president, Ken from UK, to perhaps to brief all of you about what is our mission vision here, and where we come from, how we position ourselves in the presence of Borneo. And yeah, I would like to give this stage to Ken. Welcome, Ken.
Hello. Selamat pagi, selamat tengah hari, selamat petang, good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Ken here from London. Oh my goodness. This is so inspiring, so brilliant, so beautiful, so complimentary. We started with Datuk Dayang with almost a macro view of women's role, peppered with the whole Eastern values and the ambitions and the vision of almost like the global quality of a woman, but at the same time, very much tapered with that beautiful Asian touches. And then we went to Lily, whose passion in music expressed in a way that how she achieved something that is usually almost impossible because of the parental restrictions and societal. And she broke through that and gave us example how she did it. And then on the 3rd stage, we have Cheryl, who is giving us a very nitty-gritty and applied case where she tells us about her journey And in the end, she explains what are the challenges and what are the tips and things that we could learn. Oh my goodness, it's so beautifully done that I'm so in awe of all the speakers. Thank you very much indeed. Now, I am Ken dari Sabah. I'm from Papar, from Limbahau. It just happened. We're same village with Eve. In fact, we only a few doors stop, which I didn't know at all until we later came to know. It is this pandemic that inspired us. In fact, I've always been inspired to form a kind of association or a group for Borneo, but we always think I'm the UK at the moment, and said, oh, that's not possible because we are far away. But when the pandemic happens, that's just I saw a webinar, a forum which had 40,000 attendees in America, and the guy was charging $300 for this webinar, and I calculated he made about 15 million US dollar for that weekend webinar. I said, everything is possible now. This guy presenting, and within a weekend, his gross was 15 million US dollar. I said, wow, what am I thinking about? Let's do this for Borneo virtually. And this is how eventually the idea of a Borneo forum came about. And that's possible now. This is our third one, and it's growing and growing. Borneo we registered Borneo Organization Limited in the UK, and the reason for that is sometimes how do I say it? Sometimes if you are a bit active on this whole Pan Borneo concept, we could encounter certain misconception, a bit more suspicion, whether what are you doing politically. And that's always been our restriction in our mind, because I don't want to do this, I don't want to do this, because otherwise we could get into trouble with Indonesia, Brunei, Malaysia, because you are thinking of something. Now, here's the question that I ask. Can we, because of history that made us separated, we have Indonesia because of the Dutch history, we have Sarawak and Sabah because of Brooks, and then of course North Borneo Charter Company, then you have Brunei, the British side. We have been separated by history. Now that's not a political statement, because Borneo is not a political organization. We have been separated by history, and therefore because of this, we do not have this pan-Borneo kind of togetherness, because we are always separated by this. We've been detected by this history. The question is, how do we become passionate of Borneo, become Borneonists, become passionate about the whole Borneo without being political? That is the question. We want to do Pan-Borneo. We want to exist like a Pan-Borneo brand, a Pan-Borneo entity, promote the whole Borneo, be together, bermesra, but we don't want to offend anybody, put it this way. So the premise of this organization is, what can we use? What can we use? And the answer came in enterprise, business, yeah, enterprise, and in the form of social enterprise. And then we look at what are the existing framework. I'm a lawyer by training, so I look at what is existing framework or organization exists that will become our vehicle, kendaraan, yeah? What is it? Of course, immediately I see BMP IAGA. That's an existing organization or agreement. We can immediately ride on that. That becomes our kendaraan, our vehicle, we got on board. Why is that important? Because not only is an existing brand encompassing the whole Borneo, it also eliminates all these possible suspicions. What are they doing? No, we are doing business with BNP Iaga as well as our vehicle. So it's a very, very convenient vehicle for us. And there are a lot of other things. For instance, the IKN, Ibu Kota Negara Baru, the new capital that's going to be built in Kalimantan, in East Kalimantan, between Balikpapan and Samarinda there, that's going to happen. We like it or not, it's going to happen. And I said, what can we, it's going to be big, it's going to be huge. And I believe in years to come, that's going to be the center of Borneo. But at the same time, we then asked, what can we in Sabah, Sarawak, Brunei do about it to be part of this in terms of being part of the process of developing that, supporting also the locals who are probably worried about their future, for instance, the Dayaks and all that. At the same time, how can we also participate in terms of opportunities? They're so big, the opportunity in IKN. At the moment, there's no name for it. It's called IKN at the moment, Ibu Kota Negara. It's so big that why don't we have a forum to look at this positively? How can we make this new development a new Ibu Kota to our Borneo advantage? Because we know the challenge is the deforestation, the environment effect of the new city, and then the fear of the Dayak and the locals of being overwhelmed by the transmigration. All these are the fears, and we can look at that as well. In terms of just becoming an opportunist, we are there with this agenda in mind. How do we protect the environment? How do we support the orang asal as well? Their fear and all that. We go in as a positive contributor instead of just an opportunist. But again, at the same time, there's so big opportunity there. And then he got this Pan Borneo road. We have the Pan Kalimantan train, and all these are giving us opportunities to behave or to think as a Pan Borneo. We call ourselves a Borneoist instead of Sarawakians or Sabahans or Bruneians or Kalimantanese. We think as a one entity like Cheryl said. Borneo brand is actually so powerful. I mean, there are organizations all over the UK, London, supporting just orangutans. People are so passionate about Borneo environment. They're donating money. A few miles from my house, there's a lady who's raised £1 million just for the orangutan. Then she gave it to the government last year. See, there's so many passion. There's so many supporters. There's so many friends of Borneo that we tap on. You just type in orangutans and you see so many organizations, Australia, USA, New Zealand, UK, just supporting Borneo. These are the network of friends, I call them friends of Borneo, that we could capitalize. We could really get on board with them and pull them together. And we are talking about, when we talk about Borneo association, I call it organization, we're talking about friends of Borneo, not only Borneans, but people who loves Borneo. And in this sense, once we see Borneo as a beautiful brand, that's how we can really also ride on that brand and do business. Now, with this topic that Eve picks for women, absolutely brilliant, because we know the women are the machine of a family, the most important part of a family, and also now in business and enterprise. So I'm very, very, very grateful for Eve for taking up this challenge. I'm so grateful for Datuk Dayang for speaking her mind beautifully. I'm grateful for Lily and also Cheryl for sharing their experiences. We want to take this Borneo Forum further, we are already, without sharing a lot on screen, we have channels on YouTube. If you go to youtube.com/Borneo Forum, there are only 2 sessions there for this year. We have a forum for Borneo food. No, it's a channel, Borneo Sustainable Development, Borneo Directory. All these channels have been created and going to be developed. We have 2 so-called marketplace. One is a group called Facebook group /Borneo Business Opportunities, and they're also /Borneo Markets Place. These are being developed as platforms. We start small. We use free stuff for the moment, free social media, and after that, it'll take us somewhere else. So thank you so much, Eve, for giving me the opportunity. I'm Ken. I'm in London at the moment. Once this whole pandemic allows us to travel again, we'll be seeing you in KK, Kuching, Kalimantan, possibly, hopefully. In fact, I was already looking at where to stay in Balikpapan, and I saw some apartments on Airbnb, planning my trip. So fantastic, fantastic. Thank you very much indeed. And thank you very much, Eve. And thank you, everybody, the speakers especially. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Ken, for laying out what is our position here. And in fact, yeah, there's a lot of groundwork that we have done, and it's going to be happening one after another. Yeah, and I would like to also invite Alan from New Zealand just to say a few words before we end.
Hello, hi, Evelyn, kia ora everyone, papisanan,
Hi, Alan.
papisunduan. Ya ko, saya dari Keningau, Apin-Apin, Kampung Dontunan Apin-Apin, tapi sekarang di New Zealand for the past 6 years. But I'm still communicating with everyone in Sabah. Tiap-tiap hari saya ingat Sabah. Almost tiap-tiap minute saya ingat Sabah, Borneo. And that's why I joined any group.
Lah, gunda ingatan kesenangan from Sabah, Kiki.
Oh yeah, so that's why saya join sama Ken, Evelyn, and Richard. So kami ini almost hari-hari kami WhatsApp ini. Every day we think about Borneo. And for me, with this forum, I'm very impressed with Datu Dayang, Lily, and of course Cheryl for sharing their experience and their vision. For me, I respect women. I talk to women every day, and I work with women every day. I collaborate with them. I guess I'm one of the very few guys that recognize the talents and the potential of women. And I saw it in my own family. My mom, she was a humble mom, uneducated, illiterate, but she helped my family and brought up all of us. And I also have 5 sisters, and they have done well in guiding their respective families. And yeah, sekarang anak-anak dong sudah maju. But I'm also thinking about ini, what they call it, the SDG, you know, Sustainable Development Goal #1, that is no poverty. United Nations is trying to come up with ini to achieve the goal #1, no poverty, tiada kemiskinan. So I think peranan wanita sangat penting di sini. Dan Cheryl, banyak kita yang looking at international global orientation, but I also thinking about the simple folks yang perempuan-perempuan, wanita-wanita, ibu-ibu di kampung, ibu-ibu tunggal, you know. Saya rasa diorang perlu inspirasi juga dan perlu bimbingan, karena seperti yang berlaku pada saya, mama kami begitu simple sekali, tiada orang kenal ibu kami. They are very humble, very simple, unknown person. Tapi she did a lot of good things. So I believe there are a lot of humble women mothers in the kampung that they are doing, or rather they are like really struggling to bring up their kids, their children, together with their orang punya laki, their family. So I'm impressed with what Datu Dayang said, that the family institution is very important. Lily also mentioned about that, and also I'm also fully agree with that. So I guess Borneo is untapped island, a lot of resources that we can develop. I'm in New Zealand. I'm trying to explore a few opportunities. I'm also trying to work together with the Maori, and I'm also inviting people to visit Borneo. So I believe all of us are trying to develop business opportunities, and this is what the platform is for. And I also thank you, Eve, thank you everyone for giving me this opportunity to say a few words. That's all. Thank you. Happy senangan.
Thank you. Thank you, Alan. Thank you, Alan. And let's move to Richard for your last words here before we end the forum, before we open to the audience.
Hi, thank you, Eve.
Richard?
Thank you, everyone, for. Hi, can you hear me? Can you hear me, Eve?
Yeah.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
Thank you, Eve, for such a great idea to have this women's forum. And thank you for everyone for joining us. My name is Richard Simon Punai, originally from Kampung Trawi in Penampang, Sabah. I'm in the culinary field, and pretty much what I know is in that field. So being with Eve and Alan and Ken has opened up a lot of things for me, and I'm learning every day, trying to catch up on those with these guys. They are like the world standard leaders here, and I'm very fortunate to meet the three of you. And tonight, from what I see from Cheryl, she's bringing Borneo products to the global market, and that's amazing. Again, I said it earlier, that's incredible. What I see from Lily, she what I get from her is to follow your passion in your talent and believe in yourself, and you will go very far. And I appreciate Lily for sharing her her accomplishment tonight. And lastly, with Datuk Dayang, she's a very inspiring, very charismatic speaker, and I would hope that she would continue doing what she's doing, which is to speak out for women. And for I think she has contributed so much to Sabah. That's why her datuship, and I can see that. And I am very happy that you invited her in here, Eve. And that's it. I think it's been a wonderful forum, and thank you again, Eve.
All right, thank you so much, Richard. Let's now I open to the audience. I give you 2 minutes each to mention anything. And with this platform, before I do my wrap up, the whole wrap up, anyone just raise up your hands and take the floor, 2 minutes. Judith, Ati from US, whoever want to say. If not, I just, just wrap up everything. Anyone to take up? Yeah, please. Yes, please. You. Yeah. Please say.
Hi.
Hello. Oh, you're mute.
Hi.
Oh, hello.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hi, my name is Yi. Okay. I just want to know after
Yes,
this
Lee.
forum, how could I connect with you all again? From where?
Okay, our secretariat is in UK, but you can always connect us through our social media. Yeah, social media, we have Borneo Forum page. You just link us, just drop a line in our inbox.
Oh, you mean which
Oh,
inbox?
Yeah,
Here or
the page is facebook.com/Borneo Forum.
oh, okay.
Yeah.
But if you can't find us, you can email. Well, that's the best place. Borneo facebook.com/Borneo
Yeah.
Forum.
Okay,
Just
okay.
post comment.
Borneo Forum.
Okay, Borneo
All right.
Forum.
Thank
All right.
you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah. Anyone to speak if before I wrap up? Perhaps Ati from USA. Oh, Yifu. Yeah, Mui. Lipu. Yeah, would you like to say something?
Yes, I'd like to say something. I'm Lee. I'm from Papa as well. And I was very impressed by Ken. He has an overall vision for this Pen Borneo vision, which is always in my heart too. So I do F&B business and I'm a property agent. And I always, even though I'm not a native, but I'm a pure Chinese. My father is Hakka, my mother is Hokkien. But we born in Borneo, in Sabah here. I always love Sabah very much. And I always want to do something for Sabah before I die. So I always think of product. Like Switzerland, they can come out a product called Rolex. And then the Rolex bring them big wealth for the whole nation. So I always think of what can we do? What can we innovate? What can we invent for Borneo? So that is something that is totally belongs to our here. And today I just speak to a friend. I said a Borneo recipe. A Borneo recipe consists of Chinese taste, Malay taste, Malay herbs, combined with Indian and combined with Indonesian, combined with Philippine some more. That the taste is so much special that is only can be found in Borneo. And we maybe can have many chefs, many famous chefs, or even the traditional, our housewife, our mama, our nene, they have the authentic taste that they can contribute, and we have a research and development on this Borneo taste, that we will create the ingredient, the powder and the mixture, and we produce the taste and franchise it down. And Sabah will be a unique place that we can find the taste. That is like you have the Sabah traditional, the Borneo traditional taste, like you want the Hokkien mixed Cantonese, the mixture amount, because we have mixed marriage. We have so many tastes, you mix here, mix there, and that is so colorful taste and so multiracial taste and so much of rainbow taste here. So I believe we Sabah, or we Borneo can create such a recipe today. I just talked to my friend said I'm crazy. But today, after I joined this forum, I think it is possible. Thank you.
Wow, wow, wow. May I say something about
so
that?
Much. Thank you. Yeah.
Oh my goodness. If that doesn't encapsulate our dream, if that doesn't encapsulate our vision, I don't know what is. That exactly what she said is exactly what we have in mind. Thank you very much for understanding our
I'm
passion.
a Papa too.
The Papar is getting powerful. Eve is from Papar. I'm from Limbahau.
Thank you.
Oh my goodness. Joe is from Papar as well.
Yeah.
Thank you. Hopefully I'll see you in Papar soon.
Yes. Welcome.
Thank you. But we all from Borneo.
I sell drinks and juice.
Okay.
Hi, hi Lee.
We're all Bornean here.
Hi Eve, may I speak with Lee about her comment? Yes, Lee. We should get together and do a cookbook for Borneo cuisine.
Yeah.
Okay.
Herbs. Some of us the herbs, very healthy.
Yes. Yes. Yeah. We'll probably talk about it. We'll try to make a cookbook, and we'll probably try to commercialize this cookbook into schools or into households in Borneo, and eventually produce a cuisine that we can export it throughout the world.
I already opened a shop, but my shop 3 years already I opened. I'm waiting for the recipe. Until now, no, I'm not found yet.
Okay, then we should put together something then.
Yeah.
Okay. Well done. I mentioned briefly, we created a channel, youtube.com/Borneo Food, a compilation of all kind of videos about all kind of food in Borneo. That's a start. And hopefully Richard will develop that by posting videos about these recipes and all the recipes you're thinking about. So the platform is there, and then social media is there for us to harness. Thank you. Okay, Eve.
All right. Thank you, Ken. Right. Without I give my final conclusion, I would like to invite these 3 speakers to say about 2 minutes of conclusion. So I start with Dr. Dayang. Yo.
You can unmute. You can unmute yourself. Okay.
Right. Okay.
No, unmute.
Okay. Can you hear me now?
Yeah. Yes, Dato. Yeah. 2 minutes, Dato.
Okay. Thank you very much, Eve. Thank you, everyone. Thank you for the to all the brilliant heads that created this business forum. Salute from Sabah. And though you are far away in UK, in USA, and everywhere, but the heart of Sabah is still there with you. I'm very proud of everyone. I think, like me, I have been going around the world just to mention where we come from. As Eve say, when I say Sabah, nobody knows. But I say I'm from the island of Borneo. We are internationally known with Borneo. I said I'm the queen of Borneo in China. So it has been a very nice interaction with everyone, and I'm looking forward that like just now there is a suggestion for the cookbook on the Borneo recipes. That's a good idea. You know, sometimes we have to convey our idea. Now there is via internet now, but still, if we can have the book, it's much better. And for the information of all, I am now gathering with 100 women who are giving inspiration in Sabah. So I would like if to suggest me names that I can be putting up in our coffee table book, which is created because of the pandemic also, just like this Borneo Forum. You know, every year our IKS Kita is celebrating International Women's Day. And we are celebrating with 2,000 women in a hall, but due to the SOP, pandemic and all, we are not able to hold such big conventions this year. But I am putting up a book which contains 100 women of Sabah who are giving inspiration, and you have contributed well in Sabah. This is to be documented also for the economic reason that if we meet any investors from outside, they will be looking at the directory, and this book will give them like a lead that who to look for in Sabah when they want to do business or anything like that. Okay, so thank you very much all. Wishing everyone the best of everything. Hopefully this Borneo Forum will continue to contribute in our little way or in our big way, in every way. And now it's our way, whether we can make it happen or otherwise. Again, it's all about us. The Sabahan, the Borneans, we have to tell the world that we exist as the excellent inhabitants of this earth. Thank you very much, everyone. Bye. Minutes, okay?
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Dr. Dayang. And we wish you very best of compiling the 100 inspiring women of Sabah. And yeah, we will recommend few other names that could contribute to that mission as well. Now, let's call in Lily. 2 minutes. Any final words here?
Oh, I just want
Lily?
to say that I'm very thankful and glad to be here to share my thoughts. And I ask that the woman will continue to pursue their passion and find all kinds of ways to materialize it. And once you are focused and you know that you have a goal, you can achieve anything. Even though it's you find it difficult, but you find ways to achieve it. And so you're not limited to just one item or two items, and women are known for multitasking. And I trust that you continue to pursue your dreams or all your desires, and step by step achieve greater network. And yeah, whatever you are great in, just work towards it. And in the music line, and those who are interested in music, you can find me, because my goal is to help as many musicians to, especially young or old, not too young, I don't mean too old. You can learn music in a special way if you know the rules. But if you do not know the rules, you will find that it's a struggle. So if any related to music, yeah, you can always call on me. Yeah. Okay. And
all right. So thank you, Lily. Thank you. Thank you so much, Lily. And for your information to the audience, Lily is also an investor. So yeah, anything that would you like to know more about that, yeah, please feel free to contact Lily, you know, and as we feature her in our platform here.
Thank you.
Now, thanks, Lily. Let's move on to Cheryl. Yeah, 2 minutes for you, Cheryl.
Yeah. Thank you, everyone. I don't think it'll be 2 minutes, but thank you to Ken, Richard, Alan, and Eve, especially for today. It was great to meet Dr. Dayang and also Lily, a lot of new faces. This is actually my second time being in the virtual meeting with Borneo Forum, and it's a really great platform for everybody, young, old, international, national, Borneo, Sabah, Sarawak, everywhere, all over the world, globally. It's been a really great platform for me as well, because I was able to use Borneo Forum to engage with other companies such as Data, which was fantastic. And again, we've started with a meeting, and maybe, who knows, there'll be some fruitful outcome from it. But looking forward to engaging more with Borneo Forum as well, and new faces, and how I can create more awareness with Makan Bites Limited, my company, and bringing Borneo into the international platform. That's it. That's it from me. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you. Yeah, thank you, Cheryl. So as a wrap up, here you are, our first Borneo Forum for Women, featuring to empower and to give inspiration to many Borneo women out there. And we hope this is not just a beginning for Borneo Forum for Women, but this is just as a launch pad, as a starting point. where there will be a lot call of actions that this forum may be continuing until we reach whatever heights that we aim to be, and to feature more women throughout Borneo, not only to talk but also to call for action. And as what Ken has mentioned earlier, that what channel that we have started to open, and this is also like the aim, so that Borneo women, there will be a lot of Borneo women to be the mandate of getting something of women empowerment in our region. So here I am as education activist. My role that I'm playing now is towards education, of bringing in of opening up more education opportunities to Borneo, and regardless whatever verticals, but as long as it lies under the umbrella of education. Well, thank you again. It's been so much humble to be here to moderate this session, and I would love to see many more, many output and outcomes based on this. And with this interaction, I hope all of you may be able to interact with each other, or may call us in our inbox in our social media Borneo forum, and where we are going to be our best to try and answer whatever inquiries that we may receive. And also by next month, we are meeting back, but not under the Borneo Forum for Women, but there will be an announcement for another series of Borneo Forum. So under the Borneo Forum for Women, there will be a line of itself, and we are going to meet up again under the cap of Borneo Forum for Women. So with that, I would like to end our session. Thank you so much, and hope we meet up. Oh, this Ken sharing the Borneo Organization Limited, Borneo United Organization.
Just to end, I like to play a video that inspired me. It is not political. It is a video about the Catalan tradition, where every now and then they organize this festival. And I'd like you just to watch this as a parting gesture, a parting scene to inspire you. I hope this vision, this view will stick in your mind. What I'm trying to say is, look at the people pushing together from the bottom, supporting the weight of the people on top. Just watch this for 42 seconds. I don't think I shared the sound. I'm not share the sound now. Okay. Okay.
Thank you so
Again,
much.
I showed
Thank you
that
so
to
much.
inspire us. I hope that sticks in our mind what is possible. And who knows, one day, Borneo Forum and Borneo Organization will organize a festival where we'll do that. You know, how beautiful that is. People from Sabah, Sarawak, Brunei, from Kalimantan get together and form this tower, a symbol of togetherness and unity without being political. Thank you.
Thank you so much. And yeah, I think we are at the end of Borneo Forum for Women. Joe, Judith, Lee, Pungoy, Cheryl, Lily, Terry, Julius, Daphne, Yi, SSJ, Artie, Chedrina, and Valerie. Thank you so much for being present here. And for those who came earlier, thank you so much. And hopefully to meet you up again till the next forum. Bye.
Thank you very much.
Terima
Borneo.
kasih. Terima kasih. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you,
Thank
everyone.
you and goodbye.
All the best, Borneans.
Borneans.
Bye. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Judith, loved one.
Okay, thank you, Ken. See you again.
Bye.
Ada yang baru masuk, Ambrose Lim. He's just joining. Ambrose, we had just finished. Oh, let him come in.
You want to speak?
Ati, will you like to speak since you come from USA, Indiana, same place with Richard? But even though we have finished, so we're no more recording, I think. Ken?
Yeah, I'm stopping now.
All right.